Number of reasons. But first of all, good morning and thank you for having me. And I'd say on two sides. I mean, we've been working on two sides mainly. On one side is, and it's relatively simple. On one side is product and it's creativity, it's product excellence, it's craftsmanship, and on the other side is the retail experience and the customer experience, and to continue to drive that engagement and continue to spark that emotional connectivity with the client. And particularly, with Miu Miu, we've had a number of years now of very, very significant growth, thanks to that connection with the customer and that excitement that the team was able to generate with the customers.
So on Miu Miu, that's been a huge success story recently. It's just really strong growth. How much did you see this momentum continuing?
Miu Miu has been, as I said, first of all, I mean, we're very pleased with the consistency at group level. I mean, we've had 19 quarters of uninterrupted growth at group level, and Miu Miu indeed is a number of years now of stellar performance. As we said, it's normal to expect that the performance will normalize, but the opportunity remains. So we do see continued growth for Miu Miu. We do see an opportunity to continue to gain share for a brand that has grown significantly, but in relative terms, the opportunity is still very significant.
Where is the demand coming from now? We hear that maybe we are turning a corner from other luxury players, that things are stabilizing. I think Prada talked about a plateau in China in particular. So can I get your view on the Chinese consumer in particular? Do you think the worst is behind now?
I would say cautiously optimistic about China and the Chinese consumer. We do see things stabilizing indeed, and from here, we think the conditions are in place to see a comeback, a resurgence in terms of consumption. But overall, I would say, I mean, we always need to bear in mind what has happened, in the sense that, I mean, we've seen, a very significant acceleration and in a way, some forced consumption on the back of COVID. Then we saw, the deceleration. Ups and downs, but ultimately the structural trends in this industry are still there, and are still there in China as well. So we, famous last words, but we may see in 2026, the first year of sort of more normalized industry background and industry conditions in the industry.
Interesting. And how about the US buyer? Because we hear there's been a bright spot again in Q3 after a bit of uncertainty around tariffs, the impact this would have, etc. So now we're entering the all-important festive season. So how is the mood of the US buyer?
US is in a good place. I mean, it's very difficult to pick holes in US performance. Generally, is in a good place. At the same time, I think what makes us a bit cautious, going ahead, is the fact that when there are elements of bubbles that fuel, the exuberance, there's always the need to be a bit of cautious because there may be some bumps along the road.